Welcome to another episode of Fantasy Football Safe Space. I'm 7 o'clock. This is my brother from another mother, Brother Fox. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm always blessed. As Big E would say, blessed and highly favored.
There it is. There it is. Shout out to our brother Big E, man. He had a schedule shift change, so he can't join us, but the show must go on. Brother
Absolutely.
Fox, how can the good folks take care of us?
Hey, as always, y'all can give us that HBO special. If you don't know what the HBO special is, the Help a Brother Out special. So help some brothers out. Hit that like button, subscribe. It truly goes a long way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, this is Fantasy Football Safe Space where we like to laugh and drink to other people's fantasy sorrows.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Bro, I did I tell you about my experience in Jacksonville?
Talk to me.
Oh my, like, okay. I I know we pay more to live in California. You know,
Right.
me and you both live in California. I might be a diehard Chief fan, but I do reside in California.
Mhm.
That Florida heat, oh my goodness. It was 94 degrees with 90% humidity. I feel
Mhm.
like I was being slapped around by that heat, KO. Like it was ridiculous. at,
Did you lose
at
it?
one at one point I was saying spiritual Negro hymns and shit. Like, bro, it was
Stupid.
if that's what our ancestors had to go through, Jesus Christ, bro. I
Mhm.
never again. I will never in my life want to visit Florida from September or October. Absolutely not. Hard pass.
I heard that. I heard that.
Mm-mm.
Um, that was actually a pretty good game. You guys edged that one out.
I, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw it to about halftime because at the end of the first quarter, one of my boys was so hot. He dropped his glasses and it was too far for him to bend down because he was sweating so much that he was just like, I'm good. At halftime, we left and went to a bar. Mind you, that's me paying to fly across the country to go to this game. That at halftime, I was like, I'm done. I'm good,
That's how hot it was.
bro. You know me. I've been to many a stadium. I have never, like, never again in my life. Absolutely not, bro. You couldn't pay me to go to another game. Hey, hey,
There it is. This is what you had to endure to break the curse.
yeah, something, man. Woo.
Well,
And you know what? I also saw after the game why the Jaguars want to move to London. They don't have the infrastructure in Jacksonville to run that team. Just
mm,
being 100, like from the freeways to the police department to everything. They are effed at every corner. Hey, I God bless them. I hope they move to London. I really do.
damn. Um, Going on to who disappointed and who was a letdown. One of our big predictions, Justin Fields, 10 points.
Talk about it.
I mean, he's a one read quarterback, and the blueprint is out. These guys,
Yeah.
they have a limited time. We're talking 2-3 years. There's usually some type of system out there,
Mhm.
defense that stops. You know, Belichick is great at stopping quarterbacks. Eliminating their third and fourth option. But if you only have one option, any defensive coordinator and any defense can catch up to you.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see the product. He's got DJ Moore, Matt Nagy's gone. There's no more excuses.
Yeah. There's no excuses. He is who we thought he was. You
Mm,
know, they before the draft, there was a hubbub about Justin Fields going from being the number 2 quarterback all the way to being the number 4 to 5 quarterback. And there
mhm.
were some people coming out saying this man can't read defenses. And hell, I was one of them. You were one of them. We thought it was a race thing. We go, oh, it's a black quarterback.
Right?
They
True.
think he can't read defenses, this and that. Hey, I to our past subscribers that have heard us say that, we apologize
Yeah.
because that's on Justin Fields. It's
Yeah.
on, he has the requisite weapons around him, albeit, Claypool. Did you see the low lights from week 1?
Mm-mm.
This man he is stealing money from that organization. He ain't running routes. He ain't doing nothing, bro. Between him and Bruce Irving,
Old
the outs,
Seattle
yeah,
linebacker.
like hey, they are thieves in the night, bro. They are stealing from their organization. But yeah, it's bad all around. And I think Eberflus with that team, he's not a man of a men among men.
Mm,
He can't inspire somebody to be a better person. He better
right.
get out of here. Get out of here with that.
Yeah. it's unfortunate. We always root for players. We never want to throw shade, but we got to call a spade, and he's a one-read quarterback.
Hey, we were rooting for you.
Who else we got? We got on the list. We have Derrick Henry, 2.2.
Now you were talking about it before the season started. Everyone's like, "Hey, Derrick Henry has been incredibly productive these past few years," but we all know running backs, they hit a wall, and we were like, "Hey, is it going to be this year? Is it going to be next year?" That whole team just looks pitiful.
Oh, I mean, when you're getting that level of quarterback play, everyone starves. Everyone starves. They're going to be in the hunt to possibly move up to get maybe the third quarterback taken in the draft. Yeah. They took a younger version of Ryan Tannehill in the draft. They took a quarterback last year in the third round. It might be time for a change, just a complete GM, head coach, just clean slate. Yeah, clean house, trade assets, try to move up and get your rebuild from a rookie quarterback.
I couldn't agree more. It's just that you know how it is when a team drafts quarterbacks, regardless if it's in the first round or later, the fan base is enthusiastic about new quarterbacks.
Right.
And so in the situation with Tennessee, taking the Willis and then now the kid, the other kid, this past year, I can't remember his name. Malik Willis was 2 years ago. Who they just drafted this year.
My bad to cut you off, and my bad to not see you guys in the chat. Hopefully y'all wasn't there too long. I'm here to rant about Joshua Kelly.
Hey, talk about it, Jared.
Talk about it.
Hey, someone who killed me this week, Ramondre Stevenson.
Oh
man, like I get it. He's playing against the Jets defense, but Jesus, give me some more. Jesus, hi.
Yeah, they gave Zeke like 16 touches. That's a Belichick. That's a New England backfield for you. Yeah. That's why I hate draft. I took him in my work league. He was 4th round. I felt like the value was there, but like
at that point, you got to take it.
We thought we already let us off the hook.
Sell high on Raheem Mostert. I
don't know. Can they both eat?
You talking about for Mostert and A-Chain?
Yeah. Last week, and he still got a biscuit yesterday.
Yeah. Hell, he scored 3 times, but didn't. Man, I would sell high on Mostert.
Yeah.
Answering your question, it's only a matter of time before he gets hurt. But especially right now, he's at an all-time high. Just make sure you have A-Chain as his backup.
He says can't run on Minnesota. Come on. Yeah. I mean, that's rough. It's rough. And I'm in 3 leagues this year, and in 2 of them I took Austin Eckler. So yeah, Joshua Kelly's he's not the answer. I wish they would bring back Melvin Gordon or something. I know he's playing for Baltimore, but can they get Leonard Fournette or just somebody just to give him something? Because it's just not excusable, to be honest with you. Like that offense, they're lucky they played Minnesota. The only reason they won is because they played the NFC version of themselves.
Facts. Like that 4th down call from their own, like I could not believe that.
Bruh.
Punt the ball away. You're up by 4. What do you got to prove? I get it. They won at the end of the game, but that was an idiotic move.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Mike on the mic. They got a dub in the win column, but that game was just crazy. Even in the finale, like the poor time management, then Kirk Cousins does what Kirk Cousins does in the Kirk Cousins moment and throws a pick. And it's like, wow, that's how the game ended? Like nobody wanted to win the game.
Nobody. Absolutely.
Right?
Man.
We got one. It says AJ Dillon is mud.
Absolutely, bro.
He's a bodybuilder. He's Anthony Joshua in a Packers uniform. He's a big buff guy. He ain't a boxer. He ain't a running back. He's a bodybuilder.
For real. Now for on the other side, people who killed me, why did I have to play MF and
Tyreek?
No, I played
Keenan
Allen.
Allen?
Keenan Allen put
Oh.
up 57, bro. Jesus Christ! Like, okay, in my league, this is my own personal league. I put up 151.3, right?
Okay.
Most cases, you're blowing out a team 151.3.
Yeah.
I'm still like I'm playing against a net right now, Queen of Fantasy Football. Fucking, she has 171 right now, projected 195, bro.
Who else did she have?
She had she has Jamar Chase and Mixon playing right now.
Okay.
She had Josh Allen, and then mainly she got 32 points from Buffalo's defense, bro.
Hey,
help me.
It happens to the best of us.
Now, how are you doing in the Las Vegas Fantasy Football League? Let's
I
talk
don't
about it.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm always I lost to a guy who took Cooper Kupp in the second round. So he didn't have a second round pick. That's how bad, that's how poorly my team performed. I got a goose egg from T. Higgins week 1. Najee was Najee. It was ugly, right? Week 2, I lose Nick Chubb. So I just
condolences on your fantasy season.
Now I'm getting lowballed for my decent players. It sucks. It sucks. The only thing that I have looking forward to is Jonathan Taylor week 5.
Okay.
If you know him
fingers crossed.
Yeah, I got T. Higgins, Calvin Ridley. I need to upgrade a quarterback, and it may cost me, but I'm listening to some offers.
Okay.
It's looking rough. I might squeak out an upset depending on what Higgins and Chase do.
Got you.
Yeah.
Joe Morley, the Raider fan, he's getting spanked right now by me. So I had Tyreek Hill was my first round draft pick. He went off.
Oh yeah.
Tyreek as well as the DeAndre Adams from the Raiders. They both went off for me this week. So yeah. That was more than enough. And then Lamar played a decent game, so I cruised to the victory. 3-0, baby.
Nice. There you go.
I'm about to move up.
We got it says send Cousins to the Jets. Let's talk about it. I've heard that. It's not the first time I've heard that. I heard the Jets would have to send a first, which I think is too much.
And see, that's the thing. Teams understand that the Jets they're needy. They're needy right now. So, beggars can't be choosy kind of thing. Cousins is, albeit he's not worth the first or even the second. But the reality is when you need a player, they can, buyers can't be choosy kind of thing.
Yeah. Second rounder, I would say, why not? But then you're just going to let them walk next year because you already restructured with Rodgers. So it's kind of difficult. I would say give anyone else a chance other than Wilson.
Yeah,
because no disrespect intended. He's the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Really?
There are bench warmers out there that
worse than Justin Fields.
Yeah. At least Justin Fields can run. He's Justin Fields without the running ability.
Justin Fields hasn't run all year though. He has less than 100 yards rushing.
But he has the ability to.
True.
That like he's got Garrett Wilson. He's got that defense. He's got Brees. He's got Cook. Even Conklin is decent. He had Elijah Moore. He had who was the other rookie they had? The other Mims.
Mm-hmm.
He's just bad, dude. He's just not it. He's just not it. He's a BYU kid who just wasn't. Maybe in a different city. Maybe send him to Tennessee, and he can be himself. And he's not under the big city bright lights. But I would just cut him.
Yeah,
I would straight up cut him.
It's just tough when you draft somebody overall number 2, albeit these contracts aren't as large as they used to be back in the day. That would completely hamper a team. But at the same time, like he's still making decent money. So if you cut him, that's a lot. Like right now, you got to think the Jets have probably the most money invested at the quarterback position.
Oh yeah,
they're paying an overall number 2 pick in his third year. Yeah, and they're still paying Rodgers, who's hurt. They're paying him almost $30 million. So I don't know. They're kind of in a rock and a hard place, you know. Plus, they spent all that money in the offseason trying to get pieces around Rodgers. So, what money do they even have to be able to do it?
Like, not even desirable receivers, which was crazy. But they got Rodgers. At least they had him for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
You guys picking up Tank Dell. What are your thoughts, Brother Fox?
I like Tank Dell. Hell, I liked him in college at Houston. I was actually hoping he'd fall to Kansas City, but you know, he fell in the draft just because he's small. You know, he's I want to say he's like 5'9", $180 wet. You know, he's a small dude, but you know, in that Houston offense, he's getting a lot of tick. He's getting a lot of targets, and they seem to allow CJ Stroud to throw the football down the field. I want to say he's like top 5 right now in throwing yards.
Yeah.
So with that said, if Tank Dell is going to get the amount of target, he's getting like 7 to 10 targets a game. Absolutely, he's worth picking up. You know, even in cases where he doesn't get a lot of yards, he's still going to get the catches.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. At least worth rostering. Seems more of a best ball guy. Like, you're probably not going to start him. Maybe if you have injuries or if it's like by Armageddon, I can see you starting him. But if you're in a best ball league, I definitely someone worth targeting. Because when he goes off, and when he doesn't really necessarily harm you.
Exactly. He definitely has flex potential, though, for sure.
Yeah. Breece Hall, back-to-back kind of poor showings. Is it the Patriots have a pretty good defense? They have an underrated defense. Belichick is always going to have his team ready to play. Kind of like Pittsburgh coach.
Mike Tomlin.
It's the same thing. You know that defense is always going to be ready. But damn, dude, he's just not getting it done. And is it the quarterback? What's the deal?
I say we'll see next week. Monday Night Football against Kansas City. Kansas City has a top 5 defense this year, which is kind of perplexing.
Right.
It's crazy. Right. It is. If I would say at this point next week, if Breece Hall and Cook continue to struggle, it's time to pull out the white flag and start to look for trade partners, because something got to give.
Yeah, I'm on board with you. I was talking to, shout out to Ben of the Shot Callers, Chef Dunna. I was talking to him about Breece Hall and how I felt like he could be the RB1 this year, but definitely feeling more like next year when he's fully recovered from that injury. I was thinking Rodgers would probably be acclimated into that offense in a second year. Yeah, I felt like next year is probably going to be the year that he pops. But I thought he had a chance. That first run in that first game, he looked like he had it, right?
Yeah, but, for real.
You know, it's just, I mean, when they can stack 8 in the box and they don't have to worry about, they don't fear your quarterback. No one in fantasy starting Zach Wilson.
No.
Not even in a super flex.
No.
So, you know what I mean? It's going to be rough. I don't know what I'm going to do with Garrett Wilson in my work league, because I think even the casual people know not to touch him. So,
I don't know if you saw the interview with Wilson after the game, but he's getting frustrated.
Yeah,
he's getting frustrated with that situation, and it just makes you think, like, long term, is Wilson going to want to stay with the Jets long term?
Right.
Because albeit, you know, if Rodgers is able to come back next year, he might be able to have a decent season. Right. But even still, he'll be, you know, mid-40s. So it's like, do he really want to? I want to say he's 42 or 43 right now.
Right.
So do you really want to hang your hat on, you know, a situation where you're going to be another year in flux with the quarterback before you even hit year 5, before you make your money? Someone else is going to be fucking up your numbers like Wilson.
Right. And then how does Rodgers even come back? You know, because he's not in the best shape, you know, already. He's not like a spring chicken. How does he respond? Yeah, you're right. But then what do you do?
I feel like Rodgers will come back only because of the fact that he wants to end his career on his own terms.
Not will he come back? What type, like,
where will he
form?
be?
What form? Yeah.
Exactly.
Coming back. Because this was already like an old man Rodgers, but now old man, was it ruptured Achilles?
Yeah, ruptured Achilles. Yeah.
Come on, bro. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking 12 to 18 months, depending
Yeah.
on. Oof, we'll see. We'll see.
Right. Yeah. So if you're Wilson,
So you got to think this is Wilson's second year in the league, second year with the bad quarterback situation.
Yeah.
Next year they can. I think it's right at the end of year 3. Yeah, next year's questionable. Hell, say we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Rodgers comes back next year. He has a decent season.
Okay.
Now he's coming into year 4. He's the first round draft pick. They own his rights for the first 5 years. They're not letting him leave.
Right.
Like, is he really going to have 4 out of his 5 seasons with shit quarterbacks and still want to stay with the Jets? You know,
right. If they pay him,
hey, money can only take you so far.
That's true. That's true. I mean, look at Hopkins.
Hey, exactly.
He chased the bag. Where it's at.
Hey, he gets what he deserves. Hey, you got what you deserve, bro.
Yeah, he could have been in Kansas City. He could have been in Buffalo.
Exactly.
Well, he could have been Kansas City. He couldn't have been in Buffalo. Buffalo couldn't afford him.
If he goes to Kansas City, we're undefeated right now.
Yeah.
You know, we wouldn't have had to throw to Tony week 1 with his Butterfinger hands.
Jeez. I forget all about that.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley, 7 points, which is not horrible, but it's not what you will need from your third round. And this is the back-to-back kind of showing. I didn't get to catch any of the highlights of the game, but I saw a little bit of the highlights from that KC game, and it just seemed like him and Lawrence, the targets were there. They just couldn't make it happen.
They're slightly off. It's something's wrong with the Jaguars. I can't necessarily put my finger on it. Something's wrong with the Jag. Like, I feel their offense is still trending up, but I feel like receiver wise, no one knows who's the alpha dog. Ridley's getting the most of the touches, but he's not converting all the touches. And then you have, it seems like Zay Flowers doesn't know, not Zay Flowers, but Zay Jones doesn't know how to play out there when Ridley's out there. And Christian Kirk doesn't know what to do either. It's like it seems like they're trying to force the ball into Ridley, and it's just not working. It's not working. And their next 2 games are in London. If the Jags don't win at least one of these 2 games, it's gonna be a tough year.
I know. I agree. I expect a little bit more out of Doug Peterson. All offseason, we heard everyone rave about it. I even did hashtag Lawrence Ridley 23, and now I gotta eat this humble pie. Week 1, Lawrence hasn't looked good all year, to be honest with you. Ridley looked fantastic for a half. Other than that, he's looked very pedestrian. So hopefully they can get it together. I mean, super talented, super elite.
You know what? The more I'm thinking about it, after experiencing that Jaguars heat, it had 2 home games. Hey, I don't blame Trevor Lawrence, bro. He was getting slapped up 2 weeks ago and last week. Hell nah. You know what? I'm giving him some grace right now. This ain't on him. This is on Florida.
So you start him in the away games, or
exactly,
at least during September, October.
Hey, shoot, I'm staying away from him in September. Fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, if you say it's as hot as it was, then I believe you. Garrett Wilson was the other receiver on that list.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
What did he do?
I think he might have had 10 points, which isn't horrible, but his situation, I mean, I feel like you just got to sell him right now.
You know, because you got to think Garrett Wilson was drafted either in the 2nd or 3rd round.
Yeah.
And it's probably mid to late 2nd or early 3rd round.
Yeah.
So he's most likely most people's are like wide receiver 1, unless you took one in the 1st round. So you got to sell now while you can, because it could get ugly.
What if they trade for somebody? I need to find out who the backup is. I feel like anyone could be better than them. Bring back Joe Flacco. Bring back free Mike White.
It's even if they bring in somebody.
Yeah.
You got to think Garrett Wilson last year, similar to like Jamar Chase when he came out. You know, when you come out like gangbusters, it's because they're not game planning for you.
Yeah.
You know, they said nothing changes faster than an NFL defense. They got tape on him. They know what he likes. They know how to push him. And especially with Wilson back there, You know, they don't got to stack the box. They can have extra man in zone. You know, it just changes the whole coverage around him.
Right.
And albeit it is just 3 weeks in. It is 3 weeks in, but it's telling, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not like it gets easier for the Jets. They have Kansas City next week, and then they still got to play Buffalo again, and they haven't played Miami yet. They got to play Miami twice. Ooh, that the Broncos, Jesus Christ! Condolences to all Broncos fans. Y'all dead right now. Woo, 70. You can't even go like. There's not even a term for it. You know, when a team puts up 50 points, you say, "What 50 burger?" There's no point for like a 70 slaughter, a 70 slaughter or something. Jesus Christ! It's like playing Madden on Pro. What the hell is this?
Look, I was searching up some research before the show. I saw that Mike McDaniels had a chance to break the NFL record and kick a field goal and make it 73, which the record is 72, but decided not to.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh. I feel like that should be the record, like 73 with the asterisk, bro.
For real.
Gosh. I don't need, there was no words to say. I mean, what an embarrassment, you know. And I got a lot of I got a lot of crap for my take on Sean Payton. I felt like he kind of ran out of that New Orleans situation when the cap got out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
Came back and thought he was coming to a cush deal and really hadn't done anything since that Super Bowl one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I granted they did get screwed out of some bad calls during the playoffs, but he hadn't done a whole lot in a long, long time. Kind of like Jeff Fisher, where he had that one Super Bowl appearance and then he was just 500 forever. Thinking the same thing. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's gonna have Russ cook," and like, no. It's in your division. What are your thoughts?
See, the thing is, like Russ is not playing well. It's, you know, like I get the Broncos organization is trying to shield Russ from all the scrutiny that he's receiving from the media. Mm-hmm. But Russ isn't playing well, and that their defense has regressed so far from being a top 10 unit last year to even Surtain. Surtain was considered him and Sauce Gardner were considered 1 and 2 for like top cornerbacks. This man was just getting eaten alive yesterday. Mind you, the Dolphins put up 70 points without Waddle. without
the Penguin.
Without the Penguin and without Armstead at their left tackle. So their best left tackle and their second best receiver were gone, and they still put up 70. Hell, they might have put up 100 with Waddle. It's I don't know. When it comes to Denver, I am impartial just because I'm a Chief fan, and sure. Mm-hmm. But they don't look good in any phase. And, you know, looking back to Pop Warner, high school and college, the only times I've ever been a part of a situation like that is when a team doesn't buy in. You know, that means like the players aren't buying into you, bro.
Either the quarterback or the coach.
Exactly.
Or both.
Like I've been on a lot of bad teams, and we ain't never lost 70-20.
Right. Right.
And
I didn't have 40 hung up on me, but not 70.
This is professional sports.
Yeah.
Professional. This is your craft. And this is what you putting on tape?
Dude, that's like a college basketball score.
Facts. That's Alabama versus an unranked team.
Right.
This is ridiculous. 70 points?
Yeah.
They scored 10 touchdowns, bro. 10.
Crazy. I had their kicker.
What?
Can I get a field goal?
Oh, my God.
Oh, Albert says, thoughts on Laporta. You think he finishes as a top 6 tight end? I think he can.
Yeah, he definitely can.
You know, don't forget Williams is coming back. But he's nice. He's living up to the hype that we thought he could, you know.
Yeah.
Took him a while, but it looks like he's coming into his own.
Yeah, that deep touchdown definitely helped out his numbers for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like they use him a little too much in the blocking situations, but I feel like slowly but surely, I feel like by midseason, Laporta, he definitely could be a top 5 tight end for sure.
There it is, folks. that wraps it up. Another episode of Fantasy Football Safe Space presented to you by the Fantasy Shot Callers. Thank you guys for joining us. Brother Fox, one more time. How can the good folks?
Hey, as always, y'all can give us that HBO special. If you don't know what the HBO special is, it's the Help a Brother Out special. Help some brothers out. Hit that like button, subscribe. It truly goes a long way.
See you guys next Sunday. Next Monday at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
Go Steelers.
Go Chiefs.